Hi everyone, I'm Meteorologist Rusty McCranie, and welcome to Weather Express. Your weather in 5 minutes. Start the clock. Friends, we had some impactful weather in the southeast today, including some tornadoes. We've got another Pacific storm ready to roll on shore, and our severe weather set up later in the week for the central and the southern sides of the U.S. Let's talk about the impactful weather today. Area of low pressure spinning right now over Georgia and the Carolinas. Some heavy rain and storms for places like Charlotte, Columbia, on over towards Atlanta. Some coastal storms as well. Now, earlier in the day, it drug a cold front over the central and the southern portions of Florida. You can still see some storms right now from West Palm towards Miami and the Keys. These storms are beginning to lose their intensity, but earlier in the day, we did have a tornado in the northern sides of the Orlando metro area. So some pretty nasty weather there. Storm Prediction Center shows you that marginal risk again for the southeast sides of the state into the Florida Keys. Even portions of the northern Bahamas could see some active weather. Now you notice near that area of low pressure, that's a upper level low. Temperatures are actually in the 40s right now. That's some really cold rain and a few coastal storms. The interesting thing is you go north of that low and temperatures are actually warmer through the mid-Atlantic states. And it's been a beautiful day in the Northeast. In March, I mean, we're getting to above 60 degrees near the city, and portions of Connecticut and Boston hit 60 degrees, and Detroit hit 64, Columbus as well. I mean, very, very warm temperatures here. Now, this is going to turn all into energy as our storm system develops later in the week for the opportunity for severe weather, because you're cranking in warm, moisture-laden air. And of course, it's not just that. There's going to be a lot of wind associated with this as well. Central, southern plains, northern plains, western Great Lakes, 30, 40, 50 plus mile an hour wind gusts. But again, these temperatures are absolutely gorgeous at the hour. Minneapolis, around 70 for a daytime high. Same thing for portions of South Dakota. Outrageously warm weather for this time of the year. Even Denver hit 72 degrees for today. Our Pacific storm is going to come into two pieces. We already have some rain moving into Washington state. That'll turn into some snow for the Olympic range as well. But back down to the south here, you can already see a little bit of rain from the radar sites beginning to get close to Southern California. When I switch over to the infrared satellite imagery here, you're going to see it's cut off, of course, here with our continental United States infrared, but you can start to see this whipping up, and the winds are going to be coming out of the south here in Southern California. They're going to be very gusty. Let me throw these winds, which aren't too bad as of yet, but eventually these winds are going to pick up, and there's going to be ample amount of moisture in this area, and that's going to turn into an impactful storm with some heavy rain and some potential flooding along the coastline of California, and then a lot of mountain snow. All of these are red flag warnings, again, in the central United States for all of the wind. Some of the wind advisories are going to have gusts of well over 50 miles an hour. Again, along the immediate coast, you're going to have the opportunity here back down towards the Long Beach area. You notice that there's already flood watches and the rain hasn't moved on shore. Oh, by the way, for places like Truckee and Mammoth Lakes in the Sierra Nevadas here, you could see a couple of feet of snow in a couple of locations. I mean, this is going to be a very impactful storm. The snow is not going to be as prominent as you get far off to the north. So let's go back out to the broad perspective here. Take a look at our models as I'm setting that up. Appreciate you guys, again, liking this video, subscribing to Weather Express. I always want to hear in the comment section below where you're viewing from, what the weather has been like. Take a look at the spin associated with the storm that'll be slamming into California. Again, from Monterey down towards LA, Long Beach, Palmdale, moving into the western sides of Arizona. Of course, it turns into some higher elevation snow, even towards the Flagstaff area, but a big spin in this part of the country. We're going to also see the secondary storm become a lot more prominent in a few days. So it's just some rain for Washington now, but you get the idea that for the Olympic range, the Cascades, and all of the Sierra Nevadas, this storm is going to be a potent one. Eventually, all of that energy will get moved into the Central Plains. We're going to have warm, moisture-laden layer coming out of the Gulf, and the combination of the two in a huge digging trough in the central United States is going to spell the opportunity for some severe storms. Now, a couple of days from now, we're going to have a low-end risk for Arklatex, but that's not the big story here. Let me show you a few more days out than that. This is going to be, and let me go back one more day here, guys. This is going to be the severe weather setup for portions of the upper Midwest, all the way back down towards Arklatex and the Tennessee Valley. Already a 30% risk, all modes of severe weather, including long track, large tornadoes. That risk then gets pushed a little bit farther off to the south into the southeast portion of the Tennessee Valley. These are the areas to monitor in the coming days for what could be a very widespread severe weather outlook, an outbreak, and that's something I'm going to keep a very close eye on. Friends, the clock says I'm out of time. Again, I appreciate you guys liking this. I appreciate you subscribing to Weather Express. And again, let me know in the comment section below where you're viewing from. If you have a specific question, feel free to drop it in the comment section below as well. Have a great rest of your day. I'm back tomorrow with your latest 5-minute forecast.